good evening. This is Lauren, Twin Soul Tarot, with you again. This evening I have a wonderful new deck, and it is the Spirit Song Tarot, and it is a shaman oriented deck. And so I want to do a reading for you tonight. And we're going to turn off the air. One distraction after the next. Do apologize for that. And I have laid out four piles. So we're going to do the 4-pile reading. Pick a pile. And I'll tell you briefly about each one, and then we'll, without further ado, we'll go forward with the reading. I just wanted to mention that with what we're living in right now, when we see we see a rise in consciousness through all of this, and that's the good thing. That just want to say something positive before we start in, and that's the good thing about this virus. So if nothing else, you can see some changes being made both on an individual level, community level, as well as government. So like I promised, we're just going to get right into the reading. Okay, so each pile we have, on the first pile we have the Sodalite blue crystal, and that is for the throat chakra. Now all these piles, I've got each of the chosen crystals that Spirit was leading me to pick. And each one represents, of course, a different chakra. And this particular reading, this is about unblocking those chakras, as well as doing a general tarot reading that is for the collective. All right, so we're going to be reading the male and female energies into it, so it's not male or female unless I specify one or the other. So, okay, so all right, and then the next pile that we have is going to be the GREEN Adventurine crystal, and that is corresponds to the heart chakra. And then the third pile that we have is going to be the Tourmaline or Tourmaline. Yeah. You'll have to excuse the pronunciation. And that would be to correspond then with the root chakra. The next pile we've got is going to correspond then to the crystal Quartz, and it's going to correspond with the crown chakra. Okay, so all right, so I'll give you a couple of minutes to choose which pile that calls to you a little more than the other pile. And keep in mind, we're doing a little emphasis on the chakras. So go ahead and pick a pile, and I'll just give you a minute to do that. All right, so if you've all got your piles, we're gonna start with the first pile, of course. And if you pick pile number 1, like I said, the blue Sodalite is your pile. And so here we go. I'm gonna read for the blue Sodalite pile. We got the Chariot, and we have the, can you see me okay? Yeah, you can, okay. We have the the Sacred Path, and then we have Shadow and Light. Anybody who's seen me do my readings before knows that I use the Shadow and Light deck. And so right away I'm seeing that the Chariot is a major arcana, and it's going to represent a part of your life as twin flames that is going to be one of the most important parts of your life, because the discipline and the determination that you put into the relationship is going to be major as to whether or not that relationship is going to bring you to union. The Chariot also has to do with with the both of you meeting a conflict head on, and if it's met head on, you're going to be able to find new solutions, and will cause you to be able to avoid those obstacles, or be able to get over those obstacles. You're either going to be able to prevent those obstacles from happening through this, or you're going to be able to get over them with grace and with ease. So that is that's what start the reading is, that discipline and determination. Your twin flame wants to remind you that you two indeed are twin flames, that they know that. And that has got to be one of the most important things in a twin flame relationship right there. Although this is oracle card, but it's one of the most important things, because when there's no doubt about you being twin flames, you can kind of endure through any trials that come your way. Am I not right? You've seen it in your own life. You've seen it in your life and the life of your twin flame. Okay. So, and this is decidedly a male energy too, and so is discipline and determination. So again, what male or female doesn't matter, but that is where the energies are coming from. Let's see if we can't dive into that Chariot just a little more before we let it go. Yeah, okay. The Spirit is going to be your guide in determining a successful outcome. I'm reading from this book a little bit here. And your Spirit will ignite its unlimited willpower. So yes, it's going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of determination and a lot of willpower to get your relationship and to get through this time. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of weeds. It's kind of showing a lot of weeds. It's just stepping over it. I don't know if you can see that, but you're gonna have a lot of little weeds coming up. Is what I'm seeing here. A lot of little weeds are going to come up. Little things like, okay, in a practical level, that comes up like when you are just talking with your twin flame, you're saying, okay, can you go to the store and get me 2 lemons and 1 bag of oranges? And your twin goes to the store and then calls you and says, how many lemons was that? And you say, okay, it was 2 lemons. Okay, and then and 1 bag of oranges. And then your twin 5 minutes later calls you again and says, sorry, I got distracted. How many lemons did you want? So we've all been there, right? Okay, so it's those little those things that can become weeds that come up that you'll want to just be patient and be determined within yourself and disciplined within yourself to not let those things get to you. Just not let it bother you. Go ahead and go on with your discipline. And then the other thing is too, that comes from this one, is that your discipline and your determination to go forward and do with what you need to do, separate from what your partner's doing. It may be separate from what your partner's doing, or it may not be, but you're determined to go forward with it. And so it is that kind of spirit, and this is a major arcana, so that is going to be a real big deciding factor in your relationship. So if you see things kind of get out of control, you want to get that focus and direction back, that discipline and determination back into your relationship in order for you to get through the time that is calling for that, the difficult time that's coming ahead, that is calling for that kind of discipline, that kind of determination. And that difficult time is going to be when all those little weeds come up. It's the little weeds. It's the little weeds that are going to tend to throw the twin flames off. Okay, so all right. Now, I did want to mention that I also want to say that we want to get back to the focus, this being the throat chakra. And with that, we have, I contradict myself and give you mixed messages. I hope you can see that okay. Yeah, I contradict myself and give you mixed messages. And okay, they're feeling bad that they have contradicted themselves and that they have been giving you mixed messages. But they are determined and just have the discipline not to do that anymore, is what I'm seeing. Okay. With the awareness of that, and in a little bit of sadness, but a determination to get it right, maybe a little bit of, well, I've gotten it wrong more than once, and maybe out of 10 I've gotten it wrong 8 times, but I know that we can work it out, and that's what they're saying is don't lose hope. We can, in fact, work it out. So don't be surprised if you have incorporated these principles into your relationship with your twin flame, and then these specific words come up. I feel like that might be a word for somebody, that you're going to get somebody who's actually going to say to you, your twin flame is actually going to say to you, we can work it out. They're going to use those exact words. Okay. All right. So, and then we have the last deck here. I just want to tell you, the last deck here is all about synchronicities. And the synchronicity that you're seeing here is rise. And I don't know if you can see that butterfly there, but and this is just saying that you'll need to, the two of you will be able to rise, and your relationship will grow from caterpillar to butterfly as you go through this major arcana and you move through these steps. So that is what you should be expecting to see, to some extent. Also, look for butterflies. This is synchronicities, and with twin flames, there are always synchronicities. There are synchronicities all the way through your lives together. Even after, if one person dies, they don't stop. They don't stop there. They continue on. So you might want to be be on the lookout for butterflies. Be on the lookout for butterflies, because that is your signal that things are going along that you're going to see, that's your signal that you're going to see your relationship go from being a caterpillar to a butterfly as you rise in ascension, and with the end result being union, of course. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your first reading, and we're going to move on to the next one now. I'm going to get a little drink of water. I'm going to be literally right back. I'm going to go get a drink. So I'll be back in a second. All right, there we go. All right. If you pick pile number 2, this is your reading. And this is going to be the adventuring, the green crystal, and this is the heart chakra. So this is going to be have to do with. Oh, and I wanted to mention one more time that mention now that this is to help you unblock your heart chakra. That you'll see that theme going through, a little bit in this deck and on all these decks, and I mean in this pile and all the piles. Okay, all right. So yeah. Like I was saying, this is your reading, and we have 3 of shells. Okay, shadow and light as always. Resilience. Okay. I'm going to say right now that this entire spread is what it's reflecting the light of is someone's to the twin flames in this deck are in this pile. I don't know why I keep saying in this deck. In this pile are in the second pile are definitely people who've just kind of gotten to know each other. I get an overall energy of a very young energy in the relationship, either people who've got to know each other or people who've been together for a long time and things have become maybe stagnant and they need a little bit of new infusion of energy and a little new infusion of playfulness and bliss, that kind of thing. I'll just go ahead and show you those 3 shells, which is 3 cups. And so you see the dolphins playing like that. Just have a little bit of fun. Go swimming if that's something we could be doing in, if there's a lake or something, not a public pool, obviously. Or take a hike together, or maybe something where playfulness and just be playful with each. He or she really wants you. That's the energies is coming out. Really to just be a little bit on the playful side, and that they want every time they see you, they're like that. So if you find yourself kind of frustrated with that, know that that's how they're reaching. That's how they are connecting with you. That's where they're at right now. And they want to be a little bit playful because they also need time apart to grow and heal. So there's been some painful moments, maybe some tower moments, maybe some like I talked about before, the little weeds that spoil the whole flower patch. Those have been kind of coming in, and so the time apart is going to be for both of you to heal. Okay. With all those little weeds that have come up, this is what your twin flame has surmised by now, and that is that we come from different worlds. Now, do you truly come from different worlds? Well, you may come from different worlds. You may come from 2 different countries. You may come from one person may be black, the other person white. You may be very opposite in terms of what you eat, what movies you watch, what politics, possibly even what religion you practice. But I do want to say that those in twin flame relationships, in a true twin flame relationship, you will mirror each other, and you will definitely, if you've ever heard of the verse in the Bible, iron sharpens iron, you will sharpen each other, and you will bring each other all the way through this life. If this is your twin flame, you will bring each other to a place of, what would I say, like, you will change each other. That person you will change each other for the better. And that person will likely, they'll rub you the wrong way, and you have to be ready for this kind of thing. They will challenge your everything that you ever believed in, cause you to think in a much greater dimension or greater world. It's kind of like the difference when you are engaged with your twin flame like that. The difference is like the way that you are able to see once your twin flame has shown you what they're going to show. And this is both twin flames, of course. This is both of you. And what it will be like is a bird's eye view. It'll be like you're flying over land and seeing what's really going on. You can see every aspect of the relationship for what it truly is, and also how beautiful it is. So even though this is a shadow card, okay, there's a lot of light that comes from this kind of a revelation. Okay? So, and your twin flame is saying, I'm sorry for leaving you hanging. Maybe they text you, maybe you missed texts and you tried to text 5 times and they didn't respond, or maybe they ghosted you, or maybe they even walked out on you for a very short time, and I'm very sorry for leaving you hanging, not knowing what's going to happen next, not feeling comfortable, secure, safe. What they're really saying is, I'm sorry for leaving you feeling uncomfortable, unsecure, and unsafe in this relationship. However, they're truly sorry for that. So, don't make a huge deal out of it, because it happens, So, and like I said, this is the energy of a young relationship. It's of a young relationship. You guys are just getting to know each other. Just getting to know each other. It's going to require a lot of resilience on both your parts. A lot of resilience. I'd also like to note, though, that this is also the pink. I've noticed the aura around the flower. It's like an aura. It's like an aura of a person, and the pink aura is always that motherly love. So it's going to require that motherly love, I think, on both your parts, or at least on one part. Surprisingly enough, might be the motherly love coming from the guy, from the male in the relationship, if it's a male and female relationship. Now, obviously, it doesn't apply if it's not a male and female relationship, but. Anyway, but the aura around the that surrounds the relationship, the energies that surround the relationship, it's going to require a lot of being able to bounce back from some of the hardest times, and being able to forgive. That's where the love comes in, is the forgiveness. It comes from that resilience. Okay. So now this was the heart chakra, so that's what is going to take place in your relationship, but you will also work to make that take place in your relationship now that you have kind of an idea of what might the best scenario be, and the best environment for healing in the relationship, which is just getting started. So give it some time. Give it some time, and let this person take the time that they need away from you. Okay, all right, so that was number 2 reading. Okay. If you pick pile number 3, we have the Tourmaline, and this is the root chakra. Yep, that's the root chakra, and we're going to look at the cards, see what would kind of help us unblock that chakra, keep it healthy, and all that. So, here we go. 8 of Acorns. Okay. Shadow and light. And as always, and anybody who's watched my readings knows I always do shadow first and then light. I was amazed when I found this deck. I've never seen anything like that. And that is, I always put shadow first because the darkest hour is always before the dawn. Because you're always going, and when I do left to right readings like this, I'm always going from the starting out the dark and always moving toward the end result of the light. Because when what takes place within and through and by and for you guys, you twin flames, okay, the end result is always going to be positive. It is always twin flames will always be brought to union. Okay, so that's the good news of the day, and goodness knows we need good news in today's age. So let's get going with 8 of Acorns, which is the same as the 8 of Wands, with energy and results. So we're doing the root chakra now. Yes, 8 of Acorns, energy and results. Now, all right, this can be an energy, a passionate energy that kind of goes that's really so passionate and it's coming charging at you, okay? It's going to be charging at you with your twin flame. And you may not be quite ready for that yet. This could be a new relationship. Could be a new relationship, could be an older relationship. This one, it could be either direction. But I have the sense that it's not that old. It's not that old. It's still a fairly young energy in this relationship is what I'm feeling. And yeah, so like I was saying, 8 of Wands, results, excuse me, results are going to be from that type of passionate energy as long as it's focused. What it's saying is that the 8 of Wands, as long as it's focused, is going to be yielding really strong results. You're going to get strong results out of that type of energy. Let me show you this card here. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Okay. So, yeah. So, anyway, and when they charge, and when you get that kind of energy and it's charging towards you, and it's moving very quickly, and it's moving very like it goes around obstacles. It's able to go veer all the way around obstacles. When it's not, and it's the other way around, because it could be the other way around, and that is that you run right into the obstacles and smack right into the obstacle. So with that energy, it needs to be focused. Mostly, you just need to be focused and when handling that type of energy. So that's going to come across. That's going to come up, and I'm sure it's already has. Okay, and then the next one. I'm sorry, I Caspered you. Sorry I Caspered you. I'm sorry I ghosted you. I'm sorry about that. There's not really a whole lot more to say about that. I'm sorry I Caspered you. Okay. All right. In a way, a ghosting becomes kind of a surprise. You know, you don't expect it. So, but anyway, your person's saying that they're sorry that they did it, and that's pretty much it. Okay, but they are upset with themselves for 2 things. They're sorry that, I know what I want to mention. Okay, I know what I want to mention. I'm sorry I Caspered you. And that is, they did it kind of on that whim. Instead of using that energy to go around that kind of an obstacle, instead they ran, they took off, and now they're mad at themselves for behaving like that. There we go. They're really upset with themselves for doing that to you. Root chakra level, man, this is where the passion lies. So this is what we're seeing as passion throughout this whole, and so focused passion is what helps you unblock that root chakra. Focused passion, yeah, where it becomes you take that passion and use it for creativity and direction. All right, your twin wants to remind you how beautiful you are to them. Wow. Now, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. You're so beautiful to me is one, it's either they're really telling you the truth or they're kind of fudging a little bit. You know, like politicians, they're kind of fudging you a little. They're a little bit selling you down just a little bit. Maybe they're selling you down a stream instead of a river. Okay? All right. And so you want to watch out for that kind of thing. You want to make sure that they really do mean that. And I think you can do that by testing their energies. And so say, well, what makes me so beautiful to you? You know, give me a little bit. Man, that means the world to me. I would love to know. What is it that makes me so beautiful to you? You know, if you engage them like that, then they're going to need, they'll be able to, they won't be able to hide. They'll come up with the honest truth about that. But one of the things that they find so beautiful in you already, I can tell you right now, it's because you're one of those beautiful rebels. You don't just take no for the answer. You are a questioner. You consider things very carefully. You consider the systems we live under. You are questioning everything, and you questioned a lot in school, and you will continue to do so in your job, whatever your job is. This is a personal suggestion, but I would definitely suggest that a personal suggestion can be a spirit-led thing, so I would definitely suggest that you, as the rebel, you know who you are. Go for doing your own thing. Get out of that 9-to-5 mess as fast as you can, unless it's something you just love, and you know it's just a creative thing, and you really adore it, and you're good friends with people there and stuff. But really, get out of that and do your own side hustle, do your own thing. Right now, in what we're living in right now, it's just going to benefit you and everybody else. So, okay, so enough about that. But anyway, this is a beautiful reading, and I think it, for twin flames, you can see how that we can get over those obstacles. With that kind of passionate energy. Both of you can share that kind of passionate energy. Both twin flames could be sharing that kind of passionate energy with the focus and the drive. And I bet both of you are rebels. So both of you are going to you're just going to be beautiful together. You're going to be beautiful together. All right. So, I just have to share this positive energy, you know, really. And I've had plenty of depression. I've dealt with plenty of those things. But it was my twin flame that has led me to where I'm at right now. And coming out of all of that. So we're going to do the last pile, of course, and last but definitely not least, we have the crystal quartz, and that's going to be corresponding with the crown chakra. So if you pick the crystal quartz, this is your reading. Here we go. Okay, we're going to have the Fool first, the Traveler, the Fool. Traveler's the Fool in this deck. And Shadow and Light. And final card. Okay, so I do want to look up the Traveler, even though I know the Fool really well. because these are shaman decks and it's a little bit new, and you see the gazelle there. Notice, I don't know if you've noticed, I didn't point it out, but these are all animal cards, and all these are animal cards because these are shaman inspired decks. And so that's just a little bit different than the regular deck. And what I mean and what I'm referring to here is with the gazelle, we're talking about a very free, the fool, the traveler, the fool, in a very light-hearted way. But it really shows leaping over flowers and right past the sun. Right past the sun is very, very beautiful card. And the idea is free-spiritedness here. A free spirit just to be able to go in any direction that they just feel like they want to go in. Just so willing to, like, just willing to, just also the adventurous spirit, willing to seek out new paths, new adventures, and just go where the flow takes them entirely with the free-spiritedness. That's just a beautiful quality. It's a beautiful quality. A free-spiritedness in the relationship is going to benefit you both in basically immeasurable ways. But you're going to see, this is a major arcana, so you're going to see this come up, and the thing about it is in your relationship, and it's going to prompt you to harness your energy, your youthful enthusiasm, and that helps fuel the way to new experiences and a bright new outlook to see where you're going, new terrain, and allows you both to flow with life instead of creating such a resistance against life, because that's the other thing that can happen with this type of energy and with this type of that's going to be going on in your lives. This is a major arcana. This will absolutely be happening in your twin flame relationship. I can't stress that enough. So you're going to want to look where you're going, and before you make that next move, the energy is going to, because you're going to be doing one or two things. You're either going to not be looking where you're going, or you're going to be looking where you're going. So you still want to engage that, engage your mind while you're It's kind of hard sometimes, because when you're truly in love, right? I know I'm kind of free flowing myself, but kind of let my mind free flow a little bit with this one. And when the mind's not getting in the way, okay, you can go anywhere and both be led of spirit to take you to places of sheer freedom, freedom in the relationship, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a treasure thing. Okay, so. But, it still reminds you to look before. So it does remind you to look before you leap. And let's see now, in reminding you of looking before you leap, I'll tell you what, your twin flame does not want to end up in a in a scenario where both of you have not looked before you leaped, because they are truly scared that you would leave in that scenario with this energy. You've got, I'm so scared I'm going to lose you. And but it's interesting because true twin flames are never lost. So this seems like a fairly young relationship, and that's a definite message for some of you out there, that you're in a fairly new relationship, and and one of you is very scared they're going to lose. Now, honestly, in my personal experience, if you are in a relationship with a man then they tend to just really be scared they're going to lose you. Even if they know that you're their twin flame, they tend to be afraid that you are going to walk away. So it might benefit you to assure them that that's not what's going to happen, because it's not, unless there's things, because there's usually always things that can be worked out. There's always things that can be worked out between twin flames. But, if you're also, but I'm in no way would I say that you should stay in a situation that makes you feel unsafe or uncomfortable. So anyway, okay, a little bit from me. All right, so your twin flame is saying that they did not want the honeymoon to end, and did not want the honeymoon to end. So the honeymoon phase, of course they don't. They want to keep that passion, that aliveness in the relationship. They definitely want that to be I'm scared of losing you. Let's put this together. I'm scared of I'm going to be putting this together for you. I'm scared of losing you, and I don't want our honeymoon phase to end. Well, obviously, they're scared that if the honeymoon phases end, that they will lose you. But again, if you keep in the free spiritedness in the relationship without, but still watching where you're going, right? You should be okay. All right, so they're trying to be deserving of you. I'm trying hard to be deserving of you. Do you know what you can do with this? And this is a little bit of personal experience as well as card reading, but what you can do with this, I'm trying to be deserving of you, is just simply be grateful for every little thing they've done. If they reach over to you and they pat you on the back, okay? If they kiss you on the forehead, that's a sign of true love. If they bring you a single flower home, something like that, okay. And, maybe for the guy, maybe it's more like you buy him a single new tool or something. But the point here is that it's that those little things that show such deep appreciation for each other that quells the fear of, I'm trying to be deserving of you, when the appreciation is shown for those things. Now, let's see if that ties in with appreciation, tying in with the one. Yeah, this is, I am getting from Spirit that this is a newer relationship. And so everything that this is a newer relationship, that this is a younger relationship. This is a young relationship. So treat it with tenderness, treat it with an extra measure of, I want to use the word finesse. Treat it with finesse, if that makes sense. Tread lightly. Tread lightly is what I'm looking for. Tread lightly. Tread lightly in this relationship. It's going to take you far. Okay, so along with treading lightly, know that you're in tune with each other. And if you act in tune with each other, you will soon be in tune with each other. Yep. And it's both, and this I've also noticed on this card, it's a lot of fun. They're at a Ferris wheel. They're keeping that playfulness, that reemphasizes that playfulness. So even though it's a major arcana, and then it reemphasizes the playfulness, so you want to keep that playfulness in that relationship. You definitely want to be smiling a lot and with each other, and even in hard times such as these. You definitely do not want to take it out on each other. Little things that happen during the day, they become like little weeds And then what happens is let me go back and forth on these cards, because what happens that is when those little weeds come up, then suddenly one person's trying to be deserving again of the other person. And in twin flames, you guys don't need to try to be deserving of each other. You're already deserving of each other. So, and that's what we all need to be reminded from time to time. So, I hope I covered everything. I think Spirit has led me to do. I know I'm a little different than a lot of card readers. I know I include a fair amount of psychology. It's because I have a psychology and sociology degree and have done some things where a lot of just my own family dynamics have required me to incorporate a lot of that for my family to be a success. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. All you have to do is hit a like button and smash a subscribe button. It takes like 30 seconds. It just, it really doesn't take a lot of effort or energy, man. But if you liked it, please do, and please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you think about this reading. I would love to hear if there's any particular dynamics that I've covered that Spirit has been leading through these cards that you've been able to incorporate, or you've seen what I've been laying out has taken place in your life. All those comments are they're gold. They're just, they're more like jewels or something. They can't be measured. They can't be measured in what and how much they mean. So this is Lauren, and Twin Soul Tarot is my channel, and I will do another reading in the next day or two, so be on the lookout for that. I also do, under Twin Soul Tarot, political commentary. It's called Off the Cuff Commentary, so if you get a chance to see that, that would be great. Now, if you don't agree with everything, hopefully you won't want to come back and sock me or give me, hopefully you won't be too upset with me. But those would be, the commentary is just my personal opinion, is my personal opinion, but with, what I believe, what life has shown me so far. So, all right. So, thank you again. And I hope you all have a really beautiful day. And each one of you is beautifully and wonderfully made. What can I say? And you have the power within to overcome, especially as twin flames. All right. Bye now.